A very good morning to one and all, and I'm going to present a topic on entrepreneurship development. I'm Amos Gamaliel David, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Panimal Institute of Technology, Chennai. So this is going to be the summary for this presentation. First, we're going to look at what is an entrepreneur, who is an entrepreneur, then characteristics of an entrepreneur, functions of entrepreneurs, types of entrepreneurs, and who is an intrapreneur, and then the difference between entrepreneur and entrepreneurs. Now, before we go into the topic, let's make something very clear. The pronunciation of the word that we are looking at right now is entrepreneur. It's not entrepreneur, it's entrepreneur. It's a French word which means between taker, and it also means go between. And as you can see in the slide, this is the definition that was given by Robert D. Hirsch. Entrepreneurship is the process of creating something different with a value by devoting the necessary time and effort, assuming the accompanying financial, psychological, and other problems, receiving the resulting awards to the best of his satisfaction. So this is the definition that was given in 1985. Then in India, the National Knowledge Commission of India has framed the definition for an entrepreneur in 2008 as the professional application of knowledge, skills, and competencies and or monetizing a new idea by an individual or a set of people while launching an enterprise or enterprise de novo, which means a new enterprise, or device or diversifying from an existing one, thus to pursue growth while generating wealth, employment, and social good. So who is an entrepreneur? He is someone who's going to take a lot of risks, and then he's going to start a company through which he's going to give employment to a lot of people. So he is the one who's called as an entrepreneur. Now, what are all the characteristics of entrepreneurs? The first one, he should have hard work. Okay, willingness to work hard is necessary for a successful entrepreneur. Okay, if you are very lazy, this is not the place for you. You have to work hard, and you have to always stand out from the crowd, so you're supposed to work hard. Okay, if you develop this particular hard working habit right from your childhood, this is going to be a routine for you. So later when you grow up, it's going to be a very common thing, so it will be very helpful for you when you become or when you want to become an entrepreneur. The second one is desire for high achievement. If you set your goals up high, then only you can achieve something better. There's a saying, aim for the sky so that you could land up on a tree at least. So always have this attitude of high achievement. We have the story of Sunil Mittal, who is the CEO of Airtel. When he started his work, he started as in a pharmaceutical industry, where the business which he started didn't go well. Then he started doing these punch phones or phones, these landline phones. In that also he didn't achieve. Later when he started this Airtel, he was able to achieve. He's not from a business background. His father was a member of the parliament. He's a son of a politician. But later, when he wanted to start his own business, he failed so many times. But later, because of his desire to achieve high, he was able to succeed. The third thing that an entrepreneur needs is he should be highly optimistic. Optimism means positive approach. If you're going to feel that whatever you do is going to end up in a negative way, that's not going to work out. Always you should have this positive approach towards anything that you do. The next characteristics of an entrepreneur is independence. He never wants, or he or she, whoever is an entrepreneur, they don't like to be bossed around by others because they want to become bosses. All right, so they always want to be independent. So that's what independence means. Then foresight. They visualize the likely changes to take place in the market beforehand. Okay, like a future perspective of what's going to happen later will be determined by these people. So you should have this attitude of thinking beforehand, which Mr. Narayana Murthy, the CEO of Infosys, did. When he finished his post-graduation in computer science, in whole of India, only civil buildings and mechanical, all these things were in, all these business were in such a high place, where at that time Mr. Narayana Murthy, he decided to start a computer related company in which he was able to succeed after decades. So this is the character that you need to become an entrepreneur. You should have a foresight. What's going to happen in the future, you should be able to determine before. Then you should be a good organizer. Okay, an organizer means collecting data from different people and then putting it into one place and then producing it. Like for example, a good organizer, let's say I'm having a company which is producing certain thing, and the raw materials for that, what I'll be doing is I'll be getting it from different places and I'll be doing the marketing with the help of different people, and all put together I'll be the one who will be doing the business. So this is good organizing skills. Next character is innovation. You should be ready to innovate yourself. For example, the story that I'm going to tell you is about Dhirubhai Ambani. Dhirubhai Ambani, when he was about to start the Reliance Industries, he saw this boom in textile industry, but the textile people, whoever the handlooms, the small handlooms that were there in India, they were not able to market those products which they were producing. So what he did, he actually took all these textiles from these small handlooms and then he marketed with his own brand, and he was able to succeed. So textile industry was a boom when went to a new level when Dhirubhai Ambani entered. So this is innovation. Perseverance. Next character. Perseverance means it's never give up attitude. You should, no matter whatever failures you face, you should always have this attitude of you should never give up. Next is team spirit. Team spirit, as the team, the acronym for team is together everyone achieves more. So always try to work in a team, so that if you try to do anything individually, you will not be able to succeed, because there will be so much of things to concentrate. So later you'll have to end up in a big problem or something. So always do everything in a team so that it will be done in a faster way. Next thing that we're going to look at is the functions of an entrepreneur. The first one is a managerial function, second one is promotional, third one is commercial. Now let's look at what are the managerial functions that you're going to see. First one, you should be a good planning. Everything should be done with some plan. If you don't do anything without a plan, it's going to end up in a mess. Okay, and an entrepreneur, he has to make decisions on what to do, how to do it, when to do it, where to do it, and by whom it should be done. This is what the managerial function, like an entrepreneur who's going to have this planning thing has to do. Then he should be a good organizer. As I said before, he should be a good organizer. Then next comes staffing. He should have good skills to do this human resource planning. What is this? Human resource planning. You should know how to make the staff work, how to do the accounts for the staff, and how to depute them where they will have to be and at what time and what day and everything. These things has to be, you should be very, very clear with the managerial functions. Next comes directing. You should know to direct whom to go, where to go. Let's say there are 4 people in the team and one of them is very sloppy, the other one is pretty good. You should send the good guy to that place and he should be able to do the work. So this is directing. Controlling. Overall performance, actual performance of the company, you should be able to control. This is what controlling means. Next comes promotional functions. The first one we have to look at is selection of business and of business idea. Okay, now let's say how he would have started. An entrepreneur, he's going to start a enterprise, and how he would have started, he would have got ideas from different people, from relatives, friends and stuff and everything. He would have got an idea. Now he has come to a conclusion that he is going to start an enterprise. So the business idea is very, very important for first of all. Second one is how he's going to plan the business. Okay, the raw materials, the machinery, the land that he's going to buy, and the manpower that's needed, the money that is needed, men, material, money, all these things have to be taken care of beforehand. Next comes the finance. If he is well off and if he has the funds to start the company, he can do it. Or else how he is going to share the capital, or if it's going to go in the borrowed capital or share capital, or it's going to be a joint venture or something, that's going to be decided beforehand. Next comes the commercial functions. First thing is production or manufacturing, the layout of the company in which where he's going to start, that is going to be chosen before. Next comes the marketing, how he's going to market his product, how he's going to pack his product. First of all, he has to do a research on what is available in the market, and then he is going to do the marketing, because if it's already available, then there's no point in starting a business. Or if you're going to start it, it should be better than whatever that is available. So this is the marketing skill that he should acquire. Next comes accounting. If he has an accountant, a chartered accountant, or a graduate in accountancy, he'll be able to manage it. Or else he should know how to record the transactions, classify the transactions, summarize, preparing the final accounts, analyze and interpret the results. If it's going to be a very small enterprise, that if whatever he's going to start, if it's going to be a small enterprise, then he himself have to do all these things. All right. Next comes types of entrepreneurs based on type of business, use of technology, ownership, gender, size of enterprise, and according to this researcher Clarence Danhoff classification, and we're going to see other types as well. Next comes based on type of business. The first one is a trading entrepreneur. Trading. What he does is the finished products from the manufacturers, sell these to the customers directly or through a retailer. This is what he does. A person will be doing it separately, all the production and thing. This man, the trading entrepreneur, what he'll do, he'll just buy it and he'll act as a retailer. All right. Then next comes manufacturing entrepreneur. These people, they convert raw materials into finished goods based on customer needs. All right. Raw materials they'll acquire and they'll convert it, and this particular job will keep on changing based on customer needs. Next comes agricultural entrepreneur. What these type of people does is they do innovative study in agriculture, and what they do is they try to do business in the agricultural field, where in terms of machinery or cultivation or mechanization, all these things it's possible in agriculture as well, where agriculture is a backbone of our country. Use of technology. There are two types based on use of technology. One is a technical entrepreneur, second one is non-technical entrepreneur. A technical entrepreneur is someone who is technically sound, and the second one is a non-technical person. He is not of technical background, but what he'll do is he'll try to imitate methods which are already available from different sources, or different, maybe he would have got an idea from a newspaper or from an expert or something. He can do it in a non-technical way as well. Next comes, next comes the ownership. The first one is a private entrepreneur. A private, as the name suggests, the private means someone who is the sole owner of the company. He is the only person who is the owner. He is a private. State entrepreneur. A state means, in our country, a state means a state where it's a territory. So when it comes to a state government, it is being funded by a state government, and the industrial venture or trading is being done with the help of a state funding. Joint entrepreneur is where a private, a sole owner, and a government, they sign a memorandum and then they start a company. That's a joint venture. Next comes gender. There are men entrepreneurs and women entrepreneurs. The first one is a men entrepreneur. On this, the major people working in the company will be men and the owner will be a man. All right. Next comes the women entrepreneur. In this one, the 51% of the company employees are women. In that case, that is the only case where it will be considered as a woman entrepreneur. 51% of the employed people in the company or the company owned shares or anything, or maybe the company's board of directors or anything, if there are 51% more, then it is considered as a woman entrepreneur, or she is considered as a woman entrepreneur. Next comes the size of the enterprise. It can be divided into 3 types, which is small scale, medium scale and large scale. The first one is if the person has invested a machinery or a plant, invested in the plant for up to rupees 1 crore, it's called as a small enterprise. If he has invested between 1 crore to 5 crores, it's called as a medium enterprise. If it's above 5 crore, it's called as a large scale enterprise. Then comes, according to Clarence Danoff classification, it's very important. The first classification is innovating entrepreneur. This person, what he does is he innovates. Okay, he innovates based on research and other things, new methods. He collects data and he makes something totally new out of whatever that's existing right now. In that case, he becomes an innovative entrepreneur. Then imitative entrepreneur. What this man does is, or what this type does is, they do not innovate. They don't go for any kind of innovation. What they do is they try to imitate techniques that is already available. Someone would have done it, and what he's trying to do, he'll take that idea, and one more person, if he has done something, he'll take that idea as well. He'll put together, and if it works out, it becomes an imitative entrepreneur. Then comes Fabian entrepreneur. Okay, Fabian is a new term, which is a very important thing. What these people does is they'll take every necessary step that's needed. If they feel it's going to result in a loss, if the move that you're going to make, if it's going to result in a loss, then they won't take that step at all. They'll make sure everything is fine, the future is fine, the market is fine, everything is fine. In that way, if everything is fine, then they'll go for starting a company. They are called as Fabian entrepreneurs. Who is a drone entrepreneur? Drone entrepreneur is, in spite of any kind of whether there is a loss, or if the market is going down, or the employees are dissatisfied with what is going on and everything, they are least bothered about it. They are not ready to take any extra step at all. They will stick to their own plans no matter whatever happens in the market. They'll stick to that. They are not ready to take risk, basically. Okay, they are not ready to, in spite of severe loss also, they will not be ready to take risk. They are called as drone entrepreneurs. Next comes the other types. Solo operators. They are just solo, which means they are the only sole owner of the company, and with a very, very few employees, hardly 5 or 10 people, they will be having a company. Next comes active partners. Active partners, they are in a joint venture. The person who has done it, what they will do, they will be partners who are very active in the operations of the business. They'll come periodically and check each and everything, what's happening in the company. Everything will be noted down, and they'll be having a constant review, constant meeting, everything. These people are called as active partners. Then inventors. Inventors are just like innovators, but inventors, they invent new products out of ordinary. Whatever that is existing, they won't think in that way at all. They'll think out of the box, and they'll invent new things, and they'll put it into the market. They are inventors. Then challengers. Challengers are the people who will take on challenges. If there's in an area, if there's a particular challenge that's there, let's say there's a sewage problem or something, they'll take it as a challenge, and they'll do that particular work in terms of a company basis, right? Like, let's say a sewage, that problem has to be resolved, so he'll start a job or work based on that, and he'll be able to do that and he'll plunge into that industry and he'll be able to work on it. They are challenges. Next comes buyers. Buyers are the people who they don't want to take risk. If a company is going well and if everything is fine, they'll just go buy that company. If they are people who have a lot of money, they'll just go buy a company. This is basically to reduce all the risk. Next comes lifetimers. Lifetimers are people who belong to that business right throughout their generation, or it might be a family business for them. They are the people who will, right, a father would have done, his grandfather would have done, then his son will be into the same business. They are called as lifetimers. So this is an insight about entrepreneurs, and there's something called as entrepreneur as well. Who is an entrepreneur? Entrepreneur is someone who's working inside an industry, but he has freedom to do new things and innovate, and he can actually work as an entrepreneur, but he should be inside a company. He is called as an entrepreneur. So these are the things that you should know regarding entrepreneurship development, and I hope you all understood what this session meant and each and everything that was explained by me. So till we meet again, thank you.